Now, we all know very annoying sisters, but these Redditors are telling us about how their sisters are so bad that they actually want to sue them. Y'all, we are going to be jumping into some Reddit stories today, talking about some sisters that are doing things wrong to their siblings to the point where the siblings want to sue them. And even one of them, they are trying to sue their own dad, these two sisters together. So as we go through these stories, and make sure y'all are commenting in the chat box if you're watching live or on the replay, letting me know whether you think that these sisters are bad, whether the other people, the sibling, the brother, the aunt, the uncle, all of those people are bad, or are these sisters just bad apples and need to get their lives together? We're going to start off with a story that is actually about one sister getting cut off by their parents and the other sister actually trying to help them sue their father. Now, I don't think that these sisters have a claim against their dad, but y'all can definitely let me know whether y'all think that the sisters are the a-hole or whether y'all think that the father is the a-hole. So let's jump right into it with Bossy B. All right, so my back end is not working the way that it's supposed to be working. So this is interesting. We'll see how I'm able to do the markers on my live stream. Because there we go. There we go. Now I'm able to do a marker. Anyways, let's go ahead and start with the first story, which is, am I the a-hole for helping my sister sue my dad? So this time the sisters are teaming up. All the other stories that we're going to cover up today are going to be one sibling against the other sibling trying to sue them for something that they did wrong. But these siblings are deciding to kind of have each other's back against their own dad. So let me go ahead and make our little banner, which I forgot to do earlier. So let's have that brought down, edit it. Okay. We're a little bit off, but it's all right. We're going to get it together. Have some technical difficulties, but we're back. Okay. Here we go. So, first story. Here we go again. Am I the a-hole for helping my sister sue my dad? It starts off by saying that, where'd it go? Okay. So this might be a bit messy, but I'm trying my best to explain everything clearly. My sister recently turned 18 and thus is eligible for the fixed trust my dad set up for her before she was born. Originally, this trust did not hold any conditions my sister needs to fulfill in order to receive the money that was set up. 2 years ago, she fell out with our parents. So it sounds like she got into a fight with her parents badly, and they never had the best relationship. But after that, she didn't talk to them for a long time, and only now has she started talking to our mom again. She lived with me ever since she had that fight, although she really only spends her holidays at my place because she lives at her boarding school full time. So it sounds like when she got in a fight with her parents, maybe she was a teenager, and then she went and lived with this sister that is the OP. Y'all got to bear with me through this reading because it seems like they might be from a different country. And so their sentence structure is a little bit off. So let's get back into it. Okay. So she's been living with her part-time at boarding school, part-time during the holidays. And now she got a letter from my dad's lawyer that the trust fund is revoked. Although I'm pretty sure he's legally not able to do that, and that the money won't be given to her. So basically, he revoked the trust fund that this OP is thinking is a fixed trust fund. And we'll talk about why that is probably not the case in just a moment. So he's basically, dad is saying that sister can no longer have the money, but the sister is like, I'm pretty sure he can't do that. And that the money has to be given to the sister. This has caused quite a problem for her as she needs the money to attend university in the fall. It's too late to apply for a scholarship now since both of us expected the money to be given to her. I could pay maybe her first year, but since I'm also still at uni, which is university, I won't be able to cover much of that. Now I called my lawyer and they told me we could sue my dad for the money. So that's what I did. But the past few days, my whole family has been calling me, telling me I'm a disgrace to the family for siding with my sister and that she deserves not being able to pay for uni because she has been ungrateful to my dad. My mom has also been on the phone crying, telling me that now some business partners of my dad found out about the situation and might be less likely to make deals with him. I don't care about that, but I also don't want everyone to hate on my sister and blame the fact that my dad might be losing money on us starting the legal procedure against them. So am I the a-hole? In short, this sister teamed up with her other sister that was sounding like being quite an a-hole to her own parents. She thought she was going to be entitled to some money because she was a trust fund baby. And dad basically said, no, I'm not giving you the money anymore. So figure out what you need to do. And now they're all in a huffy because this girl cannot afford to go to college on her own. They are saying that it is an irrevocable trust. It does sound like they're in a different country, but generally, if someone is living, you're probably going to do a revocable trust. There are irrevocable trusts, and then there are revocable trusts. Most living trusts are revocable trusts because you can change your mind and decide, hey, I want to do something else with the money. The money in the trust, it belongs to the trust, but also still belongs to the person who's giving you that trust. So they can take it back and give it to someone else if they want to. You're not automatically entitled to it unless it's an irrevocable trust or the person has already died, so it can no longer be revoked, right? So y'all let me know what y'all think. Are they the a-hole for helping their sister sue their dad because the sister had been being an a-hole and not even talking to her dad, and dad decided to revoke the money that he was going to give her in the trust fund that he started for her when she was a baby? They basically think that it's the sister's money. I don't agree with that. Without more information, we can't really talk about whether it was a revocable trust or an irrevocable trust. But I'm thinking since he rescinded the trust, it was a revocable trust. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Are the sisters an a-hole for teaming up against dad, or is dad an a-hole for taking the money from her? Let's see what the comments on Reddit had to say. Someone says there are very few trusts that cannot be revoked if the person who created the trust is still living. Sure, hire an attorney to tell you that. And so this commentary does not think that it was an actual irrevocable trust. The money belongs to the person until it gets passed on to the other person as the beneficiary. She's just a beneficiary, not necessarily the owner of the money, right? Someone responds to it and says, I bet the attorney who encouraged them to sue wanted a retainer up front and is working on a fee per hour basis, not percentage of the judgment basis. And the other person agreed because they want some money so that they can start a lawsuit. They're most likely going to lose because if he's able to revoke the trust, it was probably a revocable trust. And someone else says, this is more of a legal issue. If your dad set up an irrevocable trust, the funds are legally irrevocable trust, the funds are legally your sister's. If it's revocable, the money belongs to your dad, and it's his choice if he wants to withhold the balance from her. Somebody else responded and say, hey, you reap what you sow. Your dad is the a-hole here. Wow. He played the petty card out of spite because he couldn't control your sister, and he's withholding funds for her education. To hell with that. He deserves it, and you both deserve everything he has. Your family should be ashamed of themselves for siding with such a narcissistic pothole of a man. You have been providing for your sister when it's your parents' job. They made her. They should be compensating you for letting her stay with you. It's so nice of you. My sister would never do that. Oh my gosh. So these people are on dad's side. I'm gonna go ahead and see what y'all think about it in the chat because these comments are getting a little bit feisty here. We got Chelsea B saying, hey, BriHive, hello and welcome in. Nice to have you in tonight. We got Cheryl C saying, hi, everyone, moderator of the channel. Welcome in. Nice to have you back tonight. Mary Jane, really not Sarah, says, hi, hello, welcome in, welcome in. And the Angry Latina Lawyer, love the name, says, hey, BriHive, hello and welcome in. And we got Chelsea B saying everyone's the a-hole. Rich people problems, JK. Exactly. These are rich people problems. Trust fund baby hooping and hollering after what I'm going to assume she cussed her parents out and now she wants them to do something for her and she's upset about it. So I don't know. I kind of feel like the kids are the a-hole. I feel like the kids are the a-hole because they don't have to give that money to you. Now, if it was an irrevocable trust, that would be a different story. I'm going to assume that it's not an irrevocable trust. Most people don't do those. It's basically tying up your money while you're still alive to give to some kids that you don't know whether they're going to be grateful or not. I'm going to assume it was an irrevocable trust. Mary Jane Really Not says the economy is in the toilet, so I feel for the sister. I definitely do. But we also have to remember that the sister was being an a-hole to the dad. She didn't talk to the dad for years, went and moved with her sister. And I am a little bit confused on how she moved with the sister, because the sister is still in university, which I would assume if she's talking about undergraduate, the oldest she could be is like 22. So how is she taking care of this high schooler while she is in college? And she says, my place. But I guess she got her trust fund, so maybe that's how she's able to do it. But still, if she's in high school and you're like barely legal, why are you taking on the responsibility of taking care of your sister just because she doesn't want to be nice to your parents? Chelsea B says, I guess we have no idea what happened between them, but I can't imagine cutting off my kids from going to school when I have the means. So not the a-hole. And it sounds like that he said she hadn't talked to the parents for years, and she just started talking back to the mom. Sounds like the dad has control over the money. So I don't know what actually happened, but she said also that the dad and the sister and the mom never really had a good relationship. So I'm almost thinking that OP might have been the golden child and now is trying to make up for being the golden child by basically trying to help her sister out. Mary Jane Really Not Sarah says, LOL, I think the parents spoiled the kids. It's their fault. If you're rich, you can still teach them to be kind and humble. And that's what it seems like their problem is, right? They got some spoiled kids. I think that they're entitled to everything. And now they're mad because they're not getting what they want. But I think if you think it's something worth suing over, you're not the a-hole for suing, but your sister does sound kind of like a brat, in my opinion. Mary Jane says, I agree, we're not the a-hole. We need more context. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's kind of like either everybody sucks here or no a-holes here. Your sister is probably a brat and trying to get what she wants. Amanda E says, for me, it depends on the specific reason dad took it back. If she won't talk to them, why is she entitled to the money though? Yeah, for years not talking to them. My question then would be, why would you still expect to get the money if you're not even talking to your parents? Like, I would have already assumed that trust fund is gone. Like, I am no longer entitled to it. But it sounds like the way that the kids understood it is that it was their money no matter what, rather than it just being in a trust. But like I said, most trusts, they're going to be revocable living trusts. So interesting concept. Let's go ahead and jump into the next one that we have coming up here. Let me fix the banner. This one is, am I the I kicked myself out the studio. Oh my gosh, y'all. Over here trying to click too many buttons. I done kicked myself out of the studio. Okay. But we're back. Am I the a-hole for wanting to sue my sister? Oh. Let's try this again, Bree. Let's try this again. Okay. Am I the a-hole for wanting to sue my sister? This is our second story. This is from a year ago from the Am I the a-hole thread on Reddit. And it starts off a little bit something like this. Am I the a-hole for wanting to sue my sister in a small claims court for money that she owes me? Now, this one, y'all, it's a little bit ridiculous. You're going to question why this woman kept giving money to her sister. And y'all let me know if y'all would have continued to give money to your sister if she put you in this kind of situation. The next couple of stories are like that, actually. So let's go ahead. Am I the a-hole for wanting to sue my sister in small claims court for money that she owes me? I am more financially stable than my sister. I give her things all the time just because I can. I even bought her wedding dress for her as a gift this past year, though. This past year, though, she has been going through some tough times and asked to borrow money and promised me she would pay it back. Beginning in April, I helped her buy a couch. She said she would pay me $50 a month until it was paid in full. Then she started a new job and asked if she could pay me back with her 2023 tax refund. I agreed, knowing that her financial situation had changed. I also let her borrow my car beginning in May, of which she agreed to cover her share of the insurance, which she agreed would be $80 a month. She had my car for 5 months and haven't paid me anything. Naturally, I took the car back. So she bought her a couch. She was supposed to pay her $50 a month. She stopped paying her. She said she's going to pay her when she gets her tax refund. Okay. Then she asked if she can borrow her car and that she would pay the her half of the insurance, which is $80 a month. So right now she's at a debt of about $130 a month until that couch is paid off until she returns her car. So these are already two things that she promised to pay you back for, and she hasn't paid you back for. Let's keep going. To hit the nail in the coffin, though, I attend Rock Festival every year with my husband. The last one was BRRF. Don't know what that is. It was awful, and we lost a lot of money. I did end up getting my money refunded through my bank for the tickets, but nothing else. My sister and her girlfriend wanted to come with us, so I agreed and said, pay your fair share. I got an Airbnb and purchased 5 general admission weekend passes. One ticket was supposed to be for her stepdaughter's 16th birthday, but she didn't end up coming. My sister and her girlfriend were supposed to help pay for gas, food, and their tickets and their share of the Airbnb. They asked if they could pay after the festival this time so they could have some spending money. We also took them to the Welcome to Rockville in Florida months prior. They paid for their stuff. They paid for their stuff then, so I figured they would pay me back this time as well. I haven't received any money from either of them since. We came home around September 15th. I have been given nothing but excuses and even got yelled at for having the audacity to ask her to start making some sort of monthly payments to me. So we got the couch, we got the borrowing the car, not paying the insurance, and now we have a Rock Festival ticket. She did pay her back for another festival they went to, but this new festival, this is the third thing that she has not paid her back for. With the couch, personal loan, car insurance, and Rock Festival, I am owed close to $2,700. I have done some research regarding small claims in her state and have to I have done some research regarding small claims in her state and have to send her a letter of declaration first to try to resolve the issue before suing her. It is my last ditch effort, so I don't have to take her to court, but I am fearful that she won't sign it or pay me anything and that I will have to sue her. Am I the a-hole for sending her and her girlfriend a letter of declaration or for thinking I need to sue her to get my money back? And then she said, yes, I have proof that she owes me money for specific items. We're going to get into a little bit more of an explanation that she had, but y'all let me know whether y'all think that this OP is the a-hole. This sister is the a-hole for wanting to sue her own sister for not paying her back for things the sister promised to pay her back for. And there is already an update going. So second edit, people keep commenting that they don't understand why I kept giving her money. It's because the tough time she was going through was when her husband died from heart failure. He was very young, 36, and they were only together maybe 3.5 years, 1.5 of that being married. So it was hard on her being widowed at such a young age. I felt awful for her and believe she would pay me back because she has in the past. Like I said, she did pay her back for the other festival. And apparently she's paid her back for other things, right? So why would she continue to give her sister money? Because she trusted that the sister would pay her back. Now, let's go ahead and check out some of the comments before we get into y'all thoughts. Do we think that the sister is the a-hole or the sister that keeps borrowing money is the a-hole? Someone goes ahead and comments that no, you wouldn't be the a-hole if you did this. Just realize that this could be the end of any relationships you have with your sister. Mind you, this is her fault, not yours, but it most certainly would be the end. The other option is to let it go and never let her borrow money from you again. Any trips you go on with her, she'd have to pay upfront or not go at all. This could end the relationship too, but it might have a chance to keep any ties you might want to hold on to. Up to you, not the a-hole, either way you choose. So first comment does not think that OP is the a-hole. The OP commented and said, "That's what my husband said I should do. Thanks for the feedback." I do think that's a good option to not sue her, but let her know, like, anything else that we do, you have to pay up front. I'm not letting you borrow any more money, because there's been at least three occasions where you didn't pay me back large sums of money. That's not fair. I would probably still sue the friend. The friend is not my sister, right? She's going through a hard time. $2,700. For me, I probably wouldn't sweat that. Like, yes, it's a lot of money, but also, is it worth losing, the relationship with your sister over? No, you learned your lesson and don't give her any more money. I think that would be the best solution. But I also don't think that she'll be the a-hole, because everyone can't just let go of $2,700. She says she's in a better financial situation than her sister, but that doesn't mean she's rich, right? So I don't think she would be the a-hole either way. I do definitely think that the sister is an a-hole. She knows that her older sister wants to help her and take care of her and make sure that she's still having fun, especially while she's going through the hard time of losing a spouse at such a young age. But we also have to be, like, respectful, right? You can't just mooch off your big sister and promise that you're going to pay it back and then never pay it back. Someone else comments and says, "Also, I know nothing about the law except Judge Judy. She says you have to reasonably believe you'd be paid back. So the first loan, you could reasonably think you'd be paid back, but all the others, ? Nope. She'd likely give you money from the first loan and nothing after that point. You might want to research what your chances of getting it all back would be." I think if she has the evidence and the sister doesn't go into the court lying, she can get all the money back. If they have it in writing, text messages, whatever it is, she should be able to get her money back. So let's go ahead and check out the comments and see what the BriHive verdict is. Z Seltzer, member of the channel, welcome back. Dropping a love emoji. Welcome in. Nice to have you in tonight. We got Angie saying, "Aha, Bri, long time since I caught a live." Well, welcome in. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent. I'm even streaming while I'm sick, y'all. Like, I don't know if y'all keep hearing me. Like, my nose is so stuffed, but we're trying to get through it. So bear with me. Chelsea B says, "I don't know if the amount of money is worth suing, but sis isn't getting another penny ever from me." I agree with you. I don't think the amount is worth suing. I definitely think it's a lesson learned. Like, although she paid you back sometimes, there's been too many large payments that she did not pay you back for. So I agree with Chelsea B on that. Mary Jane says her husband died, but why the rock festival? I guess I don't understand normal people. It sounds like the husband has been dead for at least a year or something. You could still go out while grieving, and also that could help take their mind off of it. So I don't know. I don't know why the rock festival. Julia 543 says, "Hey Bri, hey BriHive, hello, welcome back, long time no see." Mary Jane says, "Hi Julia, long time no see." Yep. Julia says to Mary Jane, "I feel like I've seen you around, but in packed chats. It's good to see you. How are you?" Well, welcome back in. We are doing Am I the A-hole tonight. So make sure y'all are commenting in the chat to let us know what your thoughts are as we go through it. So that was our second story for the night. I think the overall consensus is that she wouldn't be the a-hole if she sued, but also, is it worth going through the fight for $2,700? Just know not to ever give her money again. I think we all are kind of leaning towards, or not all of us, but some of us are leaning more towards, learn your lesson, don't give her any more money, let's move on. We can still try to have a relationship. And if she gets mad at her for not giving her money in the future, that's the sister's problem. The older sister tried to help. She tried to be supportive. She tried to help, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the next story. And y'all, we only got 2 more stories. If y'all haven't already, please do hit the like button. It does help us out on the channel. We have 15 likes with 23 people watching live. So I know there are some people in here that have not hit the like button, and I would definitely appreciate it if you did. So we have one more, or not one more story. We have our next story. Am I the a-hole for suing my little sister? The little sisters are getting a bad rep, okay? They are getting a bad rep. Am I the a-hole for suing my little sister? Now, this one is bad, y'all. This one is bad. So let's go ahead and do this one. Am I the a-hole for suing my little sister? This one is a brother wanting to sue his little sister because she's just trifling, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, she's very trifling. And I don't think that I wouldn't even let her move into my apartment. But let's go ahead and jump into the story. And y'all let me know whether you think that the brother is an a-hole for suing his little sister. So I, 26 male, have always protected and stuck my neck out for my little sister, 25 female, but she has a toxic case of baby syndrome. There are 5 of us, with the oldest being 35. The past 2 years, she has been reckless, irresponsible, immature, all of the above, disrespectful. She send 10-page letters cussing you out, and then she'll block you before you can reply. Basically reverted back into a teenager. 9 months ago, she needed a place to stay to get her life on track after a bad relationship. Her credit is messed up. She can't rent, can't lease, and I had an extra room, so I let her stay. Now, you just told us she's been messing up. Why are you letting her stay with you? And let me tell y'all, it gets worse. It gets worse. She manipulated me into moving out so that she can do her own thing, grow up, become an adult. So I left. It put me in a bad financial spot, but I did it for her. So she has a messed up relationship. She can't lease. She can't rent. She can't get her own place. But somehow she convinced you to move out of your lease and let her live there. Why would you do that? I wouldn't have even let her move in with me if she's as bad as you are saying she is. But not only did you let her move in with you, you then moved out so that she can have your apartment that's under your name that you're responsible for financially. And if she causes any damage, you're responsible for that. I think it's a dumb move by the brother, but let's go on. I told her as long as she was responsible, kept up with the bills, we'd be good. No eviction. She got a repossession on my credit. It just gets worse, y'all. She got a repossession on my credit some years back when I helped her with a car, as well as our brothers. So this was going to be my last straw. So she's already messed up your credit. And you decided to give her another chance to mess up your credit by letting her stay in your lease apartment? Come on, dude. She agreed because she was planning on moving her best friend and girlfriend in. So now 3 people splitting the bills. Cool. I had nothing to worry about. The money's there. She alone brings in $7,000 a month. Why should I worry? Why does she need roommates? How much was this rent, right? Come to find out, rent was 3 months behind. She had changed all the contact info in the portal, so I was getting no notification. Keep in mind, this whole time we had been hanging out and seeing each other, working on rebuilding our relationship. She had been looking me straight in the eyes, lying to me, telling me things were paid. And I kept telling her, okay, I trust you because you want everyone to treat you as an adult. Lights cut off, just everything behind. She'd been getting the police called over there numerous times for domestic reasons. When the leasing office finally got a hold of me, it was a mess. So now I'm trying to clean it all up. $7,000 is owed. She has no intent on paying or helping. So she racked up a $7,000 debt of apartment rent, which put you in a financial bind already. And she's telling you she's not going to help pay for it? It's literally her fault. She asked for this. Especially since she got herself fired because she thinks she's too good to work. She works underneath our older sister, so she always had job security. So now she's in cosmetology school. The apartment is damaged. Between the drama and the lies, she doesn't think this is all that serious. She even got arrested for the first time during one of those domestic calls. I picked her up driving in the snowstorm. She yelled at me as soon as she came through the doors. I'm sick of her. I don't want me and my girlfriend getting stuck paying this. We can't afford it. So I researched and I can file a small claims case for property less than $20,000. She scammed the military, so she gets a 90%, I guess, disability check is what they're referring to, that I would love to have garnished since she blows it on BS anyways. I'm always cleaning her messes up. We all are. I want to show her that she can't keep screwing people over and getting away with it. I want my money, so am I the a-hole for suing my little sister? Now, this one is a little bit more than the other one. Remember, other one was $2,700. This one's $7,000. She messed up your apartment and she's messing up your credit. loaning someone money is a lot more, it's a lot different, right? Than ruining your ability to have a place to live. It's going to be very hard for him to rent in the future. You can't just give people your apartments without telling the leasing office. I don't know if he did tell the leasing office. I'm assuming he didn't because they couldn't get in contact with him. You can't do that. And now you're bringing a girlfriend into it. It's a mess. In this situation, I would personally sue, but y'all let me know what y'all think. Would y'all sue y'all sister for putting y'all in this predicament? He let her move into his house. She made him move out and she lived there. She stopped paying the rent. She damaged the apartment. He already had a car repossession on his credit because of her previously. Would you sue this sister? Let's see what the hubbies have to say. Not the a-hole. She needs to learn from her responsibility and accountability. And she needs to learn some responsibility and accountability. And she's never going to do that if she keeps getting baby. It's not your responsibility to keep getting walked all over for the sake of the relationship. And just like in the last one, y'all, he needs to never do this again. Never, ever, ever do this again. Okay? You got scammed way too many times. She's already messed up your credit for a repossession on a car. And then you let her move into your apartment. And then you move out of your apartment and let her live there by herself. Why would you do that? And now she's saying she's not going to pay back the overdue bills that she caused? She has got to be out of her mind. Okay? Next one says, yeah, you're not the a-hole, but you're stupid, OP. Yeah, I would agree. She already had her car you co-signed for repoed. I don't know how many times you need to get burned before it clicks. Someone else said, yes, I thought the same thing. She was already showing very unhinged and irresponsible behavior, and OP thought, let me sign here and believe her words. OP surely learned his lesson, but look how much it cost him. Someone else said, if OP is the a-hole to anyone, it's to himself for continuing to help someone who effed him over in major ways multiple times. OP, you're not the a-hole for this, but love yourself and cut her out of your life. She's shown she's not going to change. And I have to agree with that one. The sister needs some serious help. She does not seem like she's going to change. Definitely agree with that commenter there. So let me go ahead and jump in the chat and see what the BriHive's verdict is on this one. Is he the a-hole for suing his little sister? I'm going to say no. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Janine says, great minds. I was going to rewind and then saw you and wanted to stay in the live chat. Oh, well, welcome in. Welcome in. I think y'all are having a chat there, so I'm going to go ahead and skip those ones. Let me see where we at. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all having a whole conversation I'm trying to find. So I love that by the a-hole streams. Well, I'm glad you guys joined in. Julia saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. She impacted your credit and now you moved out of your own apartment. Yeah. So it's going to impact his credit yet again. Yeah. OP doesn't sound like the smartest in the situation, right? He keeps letting the sister screw him over. Mary Jane says, this is self, you're the a-hole. Laughing my A off. What is this guy doing? What is he thinking? What is he thinking? I don't know what ESH stands for. Chelsea B says, no, not the a-hole. Little sister is a mess. Yes, I agree. Brother, not that smart. Little sister, a mess. Yes, I agree with that. Janine says, whatever he does, not the a-hole. I think he's just sewer. I think he's just sewer. Mary Jane says, Chelsea B, LOL. No, this is I don't know how to say that. Masochistic? Is that how you say that? I don't know what that means. Janine says, this is way different than a loan she didn't pay back. Exactly. This is messing with your credit a second time. And then he's probably not going to be able to ever rent again because now an apartment is destroyed under his name, whether he did it or not. He let this person stay in this apartment. So it's going to mess up his ability to rent in the future. Okay. Mary Jane says, not the a-hole for suing, but you're the a-hole for letting her do all that. You agree with some of the other people in the chat. They're saying the same thing. Like, how could you be so dumb? How could you be so dumb, right? Chelsea B says to Mary Jane, haha, that is true. Julia 543 says, I mean, he never should have let her move in. Definitely never should have moved out. So either everyone sucks here. That's what it means. Okay. I was like, I know it's gonna mean something. Reddit, okay? I knew it was something, but I could not put it on put my tongue on it. So everyone sucks here or not the a-hole. And if he'll get paid because income can be successfully garnished, sue for rent and for damages. I agree. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be hard for him to rent in the future. It's going to be hard for him to continue to rent in the future.
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. Why is Siri talking? Be quiet. Cheryl C says, yes, but he didn't have much chance of getting money from the court judgment if he doesn't have a lease agreement with the sister. Yeah, that is also true. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I wonder if he had her sublease it from him. The way that he writes it is just that she convinced him to move out and he just did it without really subleasing it. So you're right. That might be a problem if there's no contract. Because then it would still make him responsible for the rent. So good point, Cheryl C. Mary Jane is laughing. Janine says, I don't think he needs to cut her out of his life totally, but dude, stop supporting her at all. I don't know. She sounds like a dick. She sounds like a nightmare to be around. He picked her up from jail and she yelled at him. For what? Julia 543 says, true, but probably didn't do a sublease. Yeah. I'm thinking you guys are right on that. There's probably no sublease here. The way he writes it, it doesn't sound like there's a sublease here, and so she probably won't be. Liable for it. Emmy Loves Makeup says, homesick with the flu. Sorry to hear that. I am also sick, but I am trying to breathe through it. That's why y'all keep hearing me trying to take deep breaths because my nose keeps getting all stuck. But I'm happy you made it in. Julia 543 says, everybody sucks here is what the ESH stands for. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I put my tongue on it afterwards. So thank y'all for letting me know. Chelsea B says, I feel for him though. Sounds like he really wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. Still not smart. Exactly. He still messed up no matter how much of a good big brother he was trying to be. It sounds like the other siblings have already said, dude, this girl is out of control. We cannot help her. Let's not deal with this anymore. And now he is probably at that level as well. Because remember, she messed up both his and another brother's credit for the co-signing on the car. So yeah, not the a-hole if he decides to sue. See, Cynical says, part of me thinks the other siblings jumped on OP as well to pressure him to help his sister. Other sibs are probably sick of her BS, so they basically just let him take the fall for it. Instead of them helping. They're like, yeah, support our sister. I know she's going through a tough time, but you're the closest to her. You're able to help her. Maybe you can get her on the right track. I can see that happening as well. That is a good point to put out there. All right, y'all. So we are done with that story, and we're going to move on to our very, very last story, which has cuss words in it. So we get to use our, not that one, not that one. Oh, gosh. Here we go. We get to beep out words. This one had a cuss word in there, too, but I was able to fix it. This one has some cuss words that I'm not going to be ready to fix, probably, so. We get to cuss. We get to cuss on the live stream. No, we don't. We don't cuss on the live stream. Anyways, let's have Bossy B bring us in to the next one. All right. The next one we got is about an iPad. Okay. Am I the a-hole for suing my sister? Let's see. Over an iPad that her kids destroyed. Am I the a-hole for suing my sister that her children destroyed? Children should not be allowed to play with people's expensive toys, okay? Unless it's an expensive toy that their own parent bought, okay? But the parent didn't buy it in this situation. So, am I the a-hole for threatening to sue my sister because her kids broke my iPad? This happened a couple of days before Christmas. This is an old post, y'all, 5 years ago. So let me know if y'all heard about it. And also let me know whether you think that OP is the a-hole here for wanting to sue his sister because her kids, her bad kids, destroyed his iPad. So my sister, her 3 kids, 4, 6, and 8, and I were all staying at my parents' house for the holidays. I have a 1 terabyte iPad Pro, the largest screen model, that I use for my job. I do digital commissions, design band posters, design flyers to make money on the side as I am in college. I saved up for a year to buy this iPad. It was an investment in my hobby. So, expensive iPad, Little kids under the age of 10, 4, 6, and 8 are the ages of the kids. I left my iPad plugged up in my father's study where I was working on some projects the night before. I got up in the morning to find that the thing shattered in the living room. My sister nonchalantly apologized and said, "Oh, sorry, the kids broke your screen. Dad says he has a new one he'll give to you to replace it." She didn't even bother to wake me up when she saw that they had broken. I asked her why she wasn't watching her cussing, her bad kids, and how they got my iPad from my father's study. She said she gave it to them so they could watch YouTube. Convenient. Don't give your bad kids my stuff, ma'am. I obviously started yelling at her and asked her how she could be so obtuse as to let her kids play with my stuff without asking. She called me selfish. They're my niece and nephews, and I should want to share with them. What the? He is not having it. This is the most cussing I've seen in a Reddit post. Oh my gosh. My dad tried to give me an iPad Air and tell me that it was the same thing. I told him it was unacceptable and I wanted my iPad replaced immediately. He said he didn't have the money, so I went to my sister and demanded the money. She tried to ask if she could make payments, so the call sorry y'all. Stuffy nose. She tried to ask me if she could make payments as the cost would wipe out her savings, and I said, no way. I want the full cost of the iPad, the pencil, and $250 I'm going to miss out on because I couldn't finish the project I was working on, and it would be around $2,200. So more money. Siblings causing problems. Now, I don't understand why he needs a new pencil because shattering a screen does not break the pencil. So the iPad pencil. So I would like to know why he needs the new pencil. I probably wouldn't give him that part of it. But your kid's shattering the iPad. Should he have insurance? Yes. But do we ever really buy insurance for those kinds of things? No. It's most of the time a waste. And it doesn't cover certain things. So I don't know if this shattering would be something that would be covered under a warranty, even if he had it. Okay. So $2,200 is what he's asking for. She tried to call me heartless and told me to think of my niece and nephew. I told her to go herself, and if she was a better mother, she'd have more than $2,000 saved up when she has 3 kids. That's kind of messed up. You're shaming her for not having money saved up. My parents think I'm overreacting, but I don't. She is trying to avoid me and not speak to me. I told her that I would be suing her then for I told her I would be suing her then for the full cost of my iPad and lost wages. She's acting like a total B word. And I'm crying on social media about her heartless brother is trying to sue her and break her and her children over an honest mistake. I've gotten calls from several family members calling me a bad brother and asking me to reconsider. I can't believe this is happening. So would I be the a-hole for suing my poor broke sister because she can't watch her effing kids, okay? This guy is pissed, okay? He is not happy that his own nieces and nephews have destroyed his iPad. Now, my initial thoughts is this guy has anger issues, right? Like, yes, it's one thing to be upset because an expensive item is broken, sure. But to be this angry about it, I don't know if I can get that angry over something that is $2,000. I definitely get that he saved up the money for it. I definitely get that it's gonna cost money. I definitely get that it wasn't his choice to have it broken. He didn't give the iPad to the kids. I'm guessing that if he was awake, he would have said that the kids couldn't have the iPad. It sounds to me like he despised those kids because it made him cuss so much. He hates those kids is what it sounds like to me. I definitely get it. But to be this angry typing on Reddit about this iPad, it's $2,000. Yes, it's a lot of money, but also, why are you this angry? Does your sister do stuff like this all the time? Do the kids do stuff like this all the time? I get it. He felt like it was put in a safe place, but Kids will be kids. The sister, I agree, should not have given her kids the iPad. But also, I kind of feel like this brother is a bit unhinged. He either hates his sister or he hates her kids. He hates his sister or he hates his kids. I don't know which one it is, but definitely there's some hate going on around there. Let me go ahead and get to the comments here. So, first person says, not the a-hole. I'd almost say everyone sucks because your comments of her were kind of messed up. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree that his comments were mean. So he's saying everyone sucks here. But what kind of entitled person takes someone's work equipment, gives it to her little kids as a toy, then gets mad when you won't accept a used device that's one-tenth as good as the one she should have never had in the first place? If she'd apologize, I'd say not to sue her, but she didn't and is acting furious that not everything is free for her precious babies to destroy. Take this to your entitled parents thread. They'll have a magnificent field day with this crap. Someone responds and says, can't you replace the screen if there is no other damage? She needs to replace what the kids damaged, but asking for everything new like the pen and stuff, if you sue her, you only get what the iPad is worth now. Don't know if everyone sucks or she's the a-hole, but well, there was an iPad Air that she could give to her kids, so not the a-hole. And it looks like you can't replace the screen anymore. Hooray for Apple, I guess. That's what I was thinking, that maybe you could just replace the screen, but it sounds like you cannot just replace the screen anymore. And that was 5 years ago. And then also the iPad Air is not a replacement. If dad is saying that he can replace it, then he needs to actually replace the actual one that he had. The other thing that I would be concerned about is like all of his things that he has on the iPad and that he has lost through them basically destroying the iPad. So I would say he's not the a-hole if he decides to sue her. Also, I think it's $2,200. He could probably work out a payment plan with her. Yes, it sucks. Yes, she should have given the kids the iPad Air to play with, since it sounds like both grandpa and the mother was up with the children. Maybe grandpa should have used his iPad instead of the brother's iPad. But I definitely think that our OP is a little feisty. It says the kids broke the pen too. It's now bent in. The kids broke the pen too. It's now bent and she's costing him money with his living expenses. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I was wondering why you needed to replace the pen, but how do you break an iPencil pen? I lost a tip to mine, but break it? That sounds a bit outrageous to me. Someone says, I'm fairly certain you can't replace the screen on an iPad Pro. I remember looking into it when someone offered to sell me a cracked one. Someone also said she didn't even offer to pay for the iPad Air. It was their dad's. She's that kind of person. The other thing to think about is some people with kids think that they're entitled, or their kids are entitled to do whatever they want, and then we have to adjust to the kids. No, you should be training your kids not to break people's stuff. You should be training your kids not to use things that aren't there. But how are they going to learn that when you're doing that? So hands up, I'm going to say he's not the a-hole for wanting to sue her, but I will say he is the a-hole. He has some anger issues for sure, in my opinion. Okay, let's see. Where were we at? I don't remember which one we were at. Amanda E says, technically not the a-hole, but I personally wouldn't sue my sis over an iPad, but some boundaries would change for sure. It sounds like he's in college, so he's probably a little bit more strapped for cash than he thinks that his sister, who has an 8-year-old, will be. So I'm going to assume she's a little bit older than him, but people also have kids as teens, so maybe they are close to the same age. Again, $2,000, I probably wouldn't sue for that either. And like you said, I would probably just change boundaries. But if he does sue her, being that he's a college student, I wouldn't really blame him. And like I said, it sounds like he hates her anyway. He hates her and the kids. Mary Jane says, I missed how the kids got the iPad. The sister gave it to her kids. Yeah. After it was up in the study, the sister actually gave the iPad to the kids. It would have been a whole nother thing if the kids found the iPad, then maybe he wouldn't be as angry, but she actually gave the iPad to the kids. Julia says, Bri, last story, if he did, sorry, my nose is so stuffed. Bree, last story. If he doesn't have a sublease, could he make some sort of written agreement for her to pay him back over a long time period, but have language where it all becomes due if she gets way behind? I'm sure he could if he wrote that up, but if he didn't have that written up already, there's no reason why she would sign that. So I'm assuming he didn't have anything like that in place, but he could have done some kind of side contract. Now, subleasing your apartment is pretty illegal in most places. So that little contract just on the side, he would still be responsible, even if he had the contract on the side. And they probably wouldn't have legally let him sublease it anyways. Julia543 says, sister gave it to her kids to watch on YouTube, to watch YouTube. Yes. Mama Bear of One says the sister gave it to her kids. Yep. I'm just reading it. Chelsea B says, you're the a-hole. She shouldn't have given her kids the iPad, but this guy just gives me all the a-hole vibes. That's what I'm saying. He seems so angry, right? He seems extremely angry. Cheryl C says, would he be the a-hole? No, but he seems like a really unpleasant person to be around. Yeah, so everyone picked up the vibes. Like, he is angry. He is a very angry man. And like I said, he probably either hates the sister or he hates the kids or he hates everyone. He hates everyone. He is so unhinged. Chelsea B says, also, you can have screens replaced for much cheaper than a whole new iPad. They're saying that you can't have them replaced anymore. I don't know how true that is. Mary Jane says, I think never let someone borrow what you can't afford to lose. Yes. And that's the thing too. Like I said, some people think we should adjust to their kids. No, you should be raising well-behaved kids that can adjust to be told, no, you want to watch YouTube? We don't have anything for you to watch YouTube on right now. How about we wait until tomorrow or whatever? And we can ask uncle if you can see it. Or dad, can I use your iPad Air so that your grandkids can watch a freaking YouTube? She should have asked. She was very entitled for taking it without permission. See, Cynical says, not the a-hole, as a digital artist who uses an iPad, not the same one as OP has. I absolutely would sue. Parents are responsible for their kids. I agree with that. The parents are responsible for what their kids do. Sorry, I switched screens. So let me get back to where I was. They're responsible for their kids. I'd be furious as the pen. It depends. New models equal new pens. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. And then Julia543 says, the thing is, he's never going to get the money. Yeah, no. He's not going to get the money. I agree. He's going to be chasing that money down for the longest time. Chasing that money down. Phoenix Waller says, let's look at this another way. If she'd sent her kids into his workplace and they destroyed things and he got fired, it's the same thing. They broke his source of income. I agree with that. I do think that she should give him the money back. So I wouldn't think he's the a-hole if he sued her. But he's still mean. He's still mean. Janine says he's absolutely an a-hole, he's absolutely an a-hole. Don't know if it's for suing her, but definitely an a-hole. I agree. Very aggressive man, I would say. Cheryl C says, why was the iPad not password protected? I don't know. They didn't get that deep into it. I think the gist of the story is that the kid should not have been using his password. I don't think they told us whether they guessed the password or what. Julia543 says, wait, where was the iPad? The iPad was in the dad's office and the mom went and got the iPad and gave it to the kids to watch YouTube. C Cynical says, exactly, they broke his income and made him lose commission. Yeah, I would ask for the commission back. If the pen is broke or you need a new pen for the new iPad, yes, they should pay for that as well. Phoenix Wallace says to Julia, in the dad's study plugged in, charging it up. Mary Jane says, did the sister steal it and he let her borrow it? The sister stole it. She did not have permission to take it. Julia543 says, shattered screen means he could get to files by plugging it in. Oh, okay, so he could just upload it. That makes sense. Upload it to something else, huh? Chelsea B says, did she think she was giving them grandpa's iPad since it was plugged in the study? I don't know. That could be an excuse, but they didn't say that. It just sounds like grandpa found out about it. It's like, oh, he can just have mine. So they knew it wasn't his. At least after the fact, they still never woke the brother up to tell him what was going on. Chelsea Cynical says she took it and gave it to the kids without asking. Exactly. Mary Jane says, not the a-hole, if she stole it. Yeah. It sounds like she did steal it. And if it was a mix-up between dad, grandpa, and the brother's iPad, the dad should help her pay for it then. If he was going to just give him his iPad Air anyways, a less inferior one anyways, maybe he should sell that one and help pay for the new one for his son. Janine says, not the a-hole, but suing her isn't going to make the money come out of nowhere. And he's probably going to spend more time, money, and effort trying to get the money back, huh? She offered to make payments. That's all suing is going to do for him anyways. Yep, because they can offer her a payment plan on that as well. So you're right. You're absolutely right on that. Janine says, but sister sucks too. Yeah, sister needs to learn how to control her kids and tell them no and not take people's things without permission. Julia543 says, hey to Mama Bear, you were in a chat super early the other day. Chelsea B says, I think I skewed view of this one because he sounds like such a dick. Yeah. It sounds like we shouldn't give him anything. He deserves nothing. But also, the sister is an a-hole for giving her kids his iPad. Baba Bear says hi to Julia. Y'all are having a conversation, so I'm gonna skip it. Julia543 says, oh yeah, I forgot. Sister offered to make payments if he can't be the one to float the money, and dad offered to give his. Maybe dad can give him money and sister can make payments to dad. Yeah. I think dad could not afford the whole payment for the $2,200. So maybe dad puts a down payment down and then sister makes payments to pay off the rest. Dad was willing to give his iPad Air to the son, and he said it was brand new. So I wouldn't think that the dad would want like money back. Like if he just gave $500 and then the sister made payments from there, that might have been a good solution. And honestly, the sister said that she will make payments because it will wipe out her savings. So technically she did have the money. She just wanted to make it more financially feasible for herself. So, I mean, also turning down the payment plan probably wasn't. Yes, it's mean. You should want to work with your siblings, but also she had the money. She's just choosing not to give it to him so that she can have a security blanket, which him as a brother should want her to have a security blanket for his nieces and nephews. But like I said, it sounds like he hates those kids. So that's probably why he doesn't care. But overall verdict, I believe, is that he is not the a-hole. But he may be an a-hole for other reasons, is what I got from the chat on that one. Those are all the stories that I have for today. I'm going to be trying to do the Reddit reads on Wednesdays, y'all. So 6:30 on Wednesday. The time might change a little bit because I'm going to have a little bit of a change in my work schedule coming up in the next couple of weeks. But we are going to try to do the Reddit reads on Wednesday, cover cases, or sorry, not cases, but cover, what do you call it? Cover Reddit stories on Wednesdays. And then we're still going to be doing the celebrity lawsuits. So y'all let me know if y'all like this better. I feel like it's a lot more interactive when we do the Reddit reads versus when we do the lawsuits now. I'm trying to get a feel for what to do with the channel moving forward. That's easy for me to cover while working full time and then also doing the YouTube. So if we shift over to the Reddits, we shift over to Reddits, but I do still like the celebrity lawsuits. So we'll still try to touch base on those ones as well. But anyways, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. I should be back tomorrow with a new story. Don't know which one we're going to cover yet, but there are some YouTuber lawsuits going on that I do want to touch base on and let y'all know what's going on with those cases. And then we'll get back into, and maybe, am I the a-holes take over the channel? We don't know. We might have to do that. So we'll be back live streaming tomorrow. I'm planning on live streaming tomorrow, but like I said, I am sick. So if I'm unable to talk by tomorrow, I will let y'all know in the community tab. Again, I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all for participating in the chat. And I will see y'all all on the next live stream. Bye.